Okay, this is video 4, as my phone camera won't seem to pause for more than a certain time, so I'm starting again. Anyway, I've now undone the 2 Phillips screws, the spring and the 2 8mm headed bolts on both sides, and the metal panel will now just lift off. Like this. So here's the metal panel. You can see the wire clips that hold the back of the trim panel up when it's in the tilt position. You can see the draft excluders that run along the side, the weather strip, and the lugs which the sliding blocks attach to. Note here, these mounts at the front have got a threaded ring around them. The purpose of that is so that you can adjust the height of the sunroof at the front relative to the main roof panel. Here you can see the tracking mechanism and the sliding blocks. These are really important. This is the lug with the nylon piece on the end of it, which often breaks. Usually you can tell the sunroof has got a broken lug because it'll be drooping on one corner and tends not to slide back properly. When reassembling the sunroof, it's always assembled in the closed sort of default position, and when adjusting the cables with the motors, either the electric motor or the winder gearbox out so that the cables move freely, you must push these so that this dimension from where my fingernail is at the back of this large slot to there, the back of the sliding shoe, is 22mm, I think, from memory. I'll check that and make a correction later on if I've forgotten. Need to look at my notes. This bit here is what locks the fore and aft movement of the sunroof when it's in the closed position. And because this bit is linked to this arm, and this arm has got a sliding block on the end here, which moves relative to the block here, and because that hole is slotted, that enables you to adjust the position of the sunroof panel fore and aft. In practice it will tend to find its own position, although when assembling them I usually find it's good to just push lightly forwards with the sunroof as you tighten this up. Otherwise sometimes the rear of the panel can catch on the back here when it goes into the tilt position. Notice this lug here again. Notice how there's a wide slot beneath it. That's the position of this lug is really important. Again, the screw that secures it is slotted, so you can adjust this so that when the sunroof goes into the retracted position, the first thing that happens, as you can see from the angle of this slot here, first thing that happens is that this lug drops down through this slot, and then as the sunroof moves back, it holds the panel down and prevents it from floating around and touching the main roof panel and scratching the paintwork. So this is really important, and quite often when people put these together they don't realise how the thing is meant to be adjusted, and the first time they go to retract the sunroof, this is wrongly positioned, hits the tracking and snaps off. This is especially true of the electric ones, where people don't bother to use a screwdriver to move it gently to start with to make sure everything's right. You just press the button, wham, bang, it's broken. They also break generally because the thing gets out of adjustment. Here we have the draft excluder, which pops up when the sunroof moves back. So this is the bit that holds the panel in position. That lug there is what the spring on the trim panel attaches to, just slips over it. Then imagine that the sunroof is moving back into the retracted position. This slides back, releases that, and up it pops against the spring pressure. In practice they tend to be a bit stiff and don't pop up. So when you're assembling one of these, you need to make sure that it's moving freely. Here again you can see the trim panel just slides back to forwards. This bit here is a rain gutter, and again that moves backwards with everything when it goes into the retracted position. Here you'll see some serrations on this guide block. Again, they are so that you can adjust the height of the metal panel relative to the main roof. I think that's it for the moment on video 4. This will be continued on video 5.